Hello, everybody. This is Fernando for the latest aliens and UFOs encounters. Well, I thought I would mix this one in here while I'm continuing to do your suggestions, mainly because I came across this new subreddit on the reddit.com website that is both fascinating and baffling and then also eerie to me. The subreddit is called Experiencers, and it was actually originally on a post involving alien abductions. And so I read some of the information, and looking at it, I still don't know what to make of it. These are apparently posts by people who say they interact with quote unquote non human entities, but it almost seems to be like a voluntary sort, like they're almost seeking this interaction rather than, let's say, a true abduction where it just happens randomly and, of course, is out of a person's control. So let me know what you guys and gals think about this story here. It's from a user by the name of Ginger Flicker. Again, it's from the subreddit called Experiencers, and they titled theirs as Breakthrough in Contact due to this sub. So I'm going to feature it here and to get my own thoughts and opinions. I might not cover this too much because I just have like a red flag when it comes to talking about stuff where you're inviting entities to come over. It just seems like something that could be out of control afterward. But again, that could be just me and my paranoia. But let me know what y'all think about this if y'all want me to do any more of these particular stories. So here's what they say. Huge thank you to those who have posted in this sub about your efforts to contact non-human entities. The large number of posters, in particular, those with a trusting, open approach, allowed me to finally, after many years, make a make or breakthrough in my contact experience. Twice in this past week, I sidestepped the default reaction of fear and instead interacted with a particular non-human entity. Previously, in my 44 years of encounters, the otherworldly entities had the control, or so it seemed to me. I always felt acted upon. They came to me, presented themselves, and occasionally their messages, usually by demonstration, once in a great while a complete sentence, i.e., you need to change the induction of your meditation, then they departed. Always my response was to feel shock and fear, even when the beings and the encounters were benign. And so I attempted to shift the dynamic around 2014 when I decided I would try to enter a relationship with these entities. I started with Tom Campbell's advice to just ask for contact with a goodwill entity who was interested in connecting with a human. I asked every morning at the start of meditation. About 2 years ago, 2021, a new type of entity began visiting, and a particular scenario unfolded. A roaring buzz woke me into a world between worlds. In my same house, but I saw everything through a gray film. The source of the sound appeared, coming out from behind my head, a round bronze object the size of a soccer ball with black wings. It scanned up and down my body, never touching it, but it seemed measuring something like a mini mobile MRI device. I was, as usual, frozen with terror and could neither move or speak. This encounter scenario continued to occur during my early morning meditation. Because I thought I knew what was coming when the roar buzz occurred, I fought its force mightily and was always able to eventually pull myself out of the meditation. After Grush, Fravor, and Graves testified before the House Oversight Committee's National Security Subcommittee, I turned to subs on Reddit where I could read of like-minded people comparing notes. I began to spend a lot of time in this sub, the one that's called Experiencers. I felt buoyed up reading posts of individuals exploring contact with a sense of curiosity and lightness. The more posts like that I read, the less alone I felt with my history and current state. Last week, after some time absorbing encounter stories in this stub, the roaring buzz harbinger sounded in my head during meditation. Without thinking or planning to, I said to it in my mind, "Wait." And so it paused and ebbed away. My meditation continued peacefully. There was an after effect. While cleaning the kitchen a while later, I retrieved a used plastic bag from the pantry. The moment my hand grasped the bag, I felt a living thing was inside. I looked inside it, and there was a bit of condensation and slightly roasted scent from the packaged roasted chicken I had brought home the previous evening. A few days ago, instead of asking for the goodwill entity to connect, I just made the assumption that one was near me and said, "Friend, let's meditate together." The roaring buzz sounded in my head. As it mounted in intensity, I asked, "Could you slow it down a bit?" And so it did. I continued to meditate, accompanied by the slowed down buzz. At one point, I seemed to have astral projected, but for brevity's sake, I'll skip that part and cut to the finale. Across my mind's eye was scrawled a sentence that repeated 3 times. My name, the plus symbol, and the entity's name. It looked like this. I'm substituting Gigi for my real name. It said Gigi plus the entity's name Gigi plus the entity's name Gigi plus the entity's name. I'm holding off on putting the entity's name out there. I owe it to this sub that I finally broke through my long-standing fear and entered into a relationship with a particular entity. Thank you. Now each morning when I meditate, I say in my mind, let's meditate, join me. And the sessions are as deep as they were previously. At some point, the I of me disappears. Overall, though, the sessions are quiet with a feeling of great peace. I meditate every morning, every day of the week from 3 to 4 a.m. Central Time. Yeah, probably not a great time for those in the U.S. However, all are welcome to join me, and whatever non-human entities have also joined. Then that's it. That's everything that the user Ginger Flicker mentioned within their post. So let's talk about that here. Eerie, right? Like it's almost like they're inviting something to come over. I don't know what it is. Is it something involving aliens, UFOs? Is it something paranormal? Is it something even cryptids and monsters related, like in the world of topas and so on, stuff that I've mentioned in the past? What is it that these non-human entities are that this user and apparently other users within the subreddit experiencers are working with? It sounds like something is happening. They mentioned that there's this roaring buzz. It comes from the back of their head, and then their visual imagery goes to like a gray film, almost I imagine like stock footage. And then they saw, and it sounded very weird to me, a round bronze object, the size of a soccer ball with black wings, like it's floating basically in front of them. And then it makes sentences appear before them that only they can see, like the sentences aren't real, but they can see them at least. In other words, the user can see them. And then it starts reciting their name, like it says the user's name plus the entity's name plus the entity and the user's name several times. It sounds weird. Like I'm getting chills right now just thinking about that, because it's almost again like you're inviting a doorway to something that is gonna, what if it stays open? What if that door cannot close afterward? Then you'll be in big trouble. I mentioned that before in the world of topas, how if you create a topa and then all of a sudden that topa decides it doesn't want to go back and it wants to actually be on its own, it's there for you. Like it's not going to go anywhere. So what do you do with it afterward? So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. This is the very first time I've ran into this world of experiencers. I'm getting like a red flag type stuff talking about this. So I'm probably not going to focus on this anymore. But if you're interested, it's again under the subreddit called Experiencers. But let me know what you guys and gals think with regards to this. Y'all want me to do any more? I can take a look and then see what else I can find that I think is kind of safe, but, you know, still not something that I want to delve too much into. But let me know. All right, everybody. Thanks again as always. Take care.